Live long and prosper. Golden Gun 85. Just going to answer your questions now. This is RB Grange, RB Grange 20XD8. RB Grange. How was the Earth made? Rocks forming, coming together with water on them. And because this mash of rocks was in a thing called the Goldilocks Belt, or the Goldilocks Chain, which is a place near a star that isn't too hot, it's not too cold, it's just right to have a life. Life came about on it. A very improbable thing for life to come about on it, but it did. Here's a bit of evidence. Right. Yeah, that's how the Earth was made. Question 2. Better without believing in a deity. How would that help? Well, if you believe in a deity, a god, you pass responsibility onto this abstract force. You don't take responsibility for your own actions or for others' actions, which isn't a helpful thing. You know, I always think of the Christian God as Santa Claus. You know, he knows if you've been good or bad, so be good for goodness sake. You know, this big CCTV camera in the sky. Now, I prefer people to make their own decisions and to behave in a good manner, because that is the right thing to do. But behaving in a good manner is something that I'll come on to in a moment. So, yeah, believing in a God, you pass on responsibility and don't take it for yourself, which is quite childish, I believe. Why do you believe atheists are persecuted in the US? Well, I'm from Britain, but why do I think... are they? Yeah. But I mean, I've read several things. Well, I've read a lot of things. I've read... just joking. I watch films more than I read. I think people who don't believe in God, or who don't believe in a Christian God or whatever, are persecuted in the US because it's a difference from the status quo, and the status quo to belief. Now, of course, you don't need any evidence for belief, and that's something that's quite amazing. That people don't look for evidence. Weird. But so if you wholeheartedly believe something, and it's, you know, completely an internal thing like that, for someone to say the opposite to that, you're going to get offended, or you're not going to enjoy that position, and therefore people work in an adverse way to it. And to do with a third object, which is an interesting concept. Should look it up. Third object. Where do you get your base moral codes from? Okay, morality is innate, just as learning language is innate, or the ability to walk is innate. It's come about through evolution. The genes that were in our ancestors that were more violent, or, you know, just killing everyone all the time, they obviously died out because these things died out. The reason why we're good is because it has been integral to our enlarged brains to be good. Obviously, morality is innate. You don't think feral children just go around killing people if they're let out. Of course morality is innate. Seriously, just think about it for a moment. Of course it's innate. It's like a framework. This framework that exists, and then you apply little stories to it. Laws based on a Christian viewpoint. Would it be better if no laws? Laws aren't based on a Christian viewpoint. That's ridiculous. Okay, so little video there in response to you. Yeah, I've looked a bit on your channel. I don't like in the sidebar thing in your profile you saying, "Oh, I hope this can we can have a healthy discussion without it, you know, degrading itself into childish name calling." I don't like that, because it's as though you've approached the situation that you've expected that's what's going to happen. I mean, 5 questions to atheists. We're not, you know, we're not a group. It's just people who don't believe there is a God. But as a standpoint, I don't believe in a God to start with. So atheism doesn't make sense, because there should be no such thing as theism. You don't say not bollocks, do you? Nonsense.